Good afternoon, guys. What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everybody is, well, today's Friday, so you're gonna be watching this Saturday. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Get out there, get something done, be productive human beings. But anyway, let's go into a little bit of story time. Last night we got home around 10:30ish from the shop, plugged our truck in, went inside like we always usually do, woke up the next morning, went to go start our truck before we went to go to work, and wouldn't you know, it started pretty hard. Now, it's been very cold here as of lately. When I woke up, it was 5, so during the winter, and it was actually pretty windy last night. The temperatures probably dropped 0 or below. Now, I am the first one to admit and point the finger. Greg is bad at adding anti-gelling winter. You should be using stuff year-round, which I've done before in the past, but when you get busy, it's kind of the last thing in your mind. And when I was driving the Ranger for a while, just kind of got out of that habit of driving this thing in the winter. But anyway, back to the story. Wouldn't you know, it started pretty hard. I'm like, that's weird. It's never started that hard before. Looked at the cord. I'm like, okay, it's plugged into the truck. Well, wouldn't you know, extension cords need to be plugged into the wall side to have any juice. And it was not plugged in where it normally was. So nevertheless, the truck did start and started no problem. But we came out, the high idle went up. Now, when your idle goes up, I usually take a look at my fuel pressure gauge and my rail pressure gauge. Obviously, with rail pressure, or I'm sorry, with RPM, your rail pressure will go up. Usually goes up to around 7, 8, 9. I'm not exactly sure on that number, but we were below 5, and that gave me a pretty good indication that we probably had some gelling. I don't know what state. The truck ran fine. We limped it over here, but I didn't really trust it because I knew it was having some problems because the rail pressure is usually much higher than that. So we've had it sitting in the shop all day long. We borrowed the wife wagon, which is outside, which we need to change the oil on tonight, by the way. So that's on the list. We got a list, and I'm getting here a little late after work. But anyway, it's been sitting in here. It's been causing a mess. We've got the mop we need to clean up. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go over some of the stuff that I have used and also change my AirDog filters. Now, AirDog recommends you changing your filters, I think, every 15 to 20,000 miles. So if you change your oil roughly on a 5,000 mile schedule, that's, roughly every 3 to 4 oil changes. And also, you're supposed to be draining your water separators to check for water. So we have new AirDog filters. We're going to change our AirDog filters. We're going to add some stuff, even though the time to add your winter fuel gel is like right before you fill up. That way it mixes up. And the biggest thing with some of this winter gel stuff is you want to add it before it's cold while you're filling up. You don't want to leave your power service or your house or whatever you're using to be freezing cold before you put it in too. I think that's a pretty big point. And again, I'm no scientist. I am not, like I said, I'm pretty bad at remembering to do this stuff myself, so I'm not the best. But here's the couple things that I picked up this afternoon. Obviously, I think everyone's pretty familiar with the power service and then the house. Now, here's my take on one versus the other. It's kind of like everything else in the world. There's usually always two big companies. You'll have 50% that love this one, 50% that love the other. Me, on the other hand, in most cases, both products are probably pretty equally good. There's some things, little details that people like. Some people have been using this their whole life. They have never had a problem, and you have the opposite. So you're never going to please everyone. And I've kind of been a power service fan. I know there's other stuff out there that independent companies make that may not be sold at big shops, stores like Napa, like Advanced, like wherever else you may go. But the problem that I have with those is they might even be a better product, which I don't doubt for a second. But when you talk about convenience factor, when you talk about where you fill up, if you order this stuff in like huge bulk case quantity, I don't see it being an issue. But if you're just a normal guy who goes and picks up the regular bottle, because it's the last thing on your mind and you forget and winter's here or whatever else, it's just easier to deal with stuff that's more readily available. That's what I'm trying to get across. So that's why I went and picked up those two things, just to kind of show you guys, because that's pretty much what's available readily throughout the country, I'm pretty sure. So we got the power service. That's what we're going to be adding. We're going to be adding some power service. Now, the other cool thing that I have had used before in the past, which I probably should get better at using, is the silver bottle. The silver bottle is more of like a cleaner, performance improver, like it's saying, bumps your cetane level up so you can gain all those extra ponies. And all this stuff, you know, besides the, you know, the winterization, the anti-gel, and the qualities of doing that, it's basically just like it says here, slick diesel lubricator, protects pumps and injectors. So it's just kind of like an oil package. When you're talking about oil, you got all this extra stuff in here to help performance, to help everything else. There's just additive packages. So on top of the winter stuff, it's just the stuff to help your fuel system stay lubricated, stay healthy, clean it, keep it protected, all that good stuff. So we're probably gonna, I actually read the instructions because it's been a while since, again, I'm just gonna admit, I can't believe this actually happened to me, because normally on my plug-in schedule, I plug in my truck. I mean, when it starts dropping down into 30s, I plug it in just because, but plugging in your truck warms up your coolant system, keeps your coolant nice and warm. And last night wasn't even the coldest night that we've had, but my truck was plugged in those other nights, and I never had a problem. Now, I guess the point I'm trying to get across is plugging in your truck warms up your coolant, keeps the engine warm. Technically, it doesn't keep your fuel warm, but in my opinion, it just kind of keeps everything warm. So maybe that's why I didn't have problems before. Nevertheless, Greg will get his shit together and we will start adding stuff to our fuel system like good diesel truck owners. So anyway, that's what's on the agenda firsthand, is changing the air dog filters, adding some of that stuff. After that, we got some friends coming over to help us lift the cab onto the truck. And like I said, we also need to change the wife wagon's oil. Look at this. Look at this disaster. If I know, I've read the comments, this kind of hurts me. Seeing the truck like this, it makes me regret selling the Ranger in every way, shape, and form. But you know, I could clean it, guys, and I have cleaned it before, but the problem is they blast the heck out of these roads. If I wash this thing straight, clean, by the time I got home, it would look about half just as bad as what it does now. So it's fighting a losing battle, but we're going to do what we can do. Let me hop up in here. I don't even know how much fuel we even have in this thing right now. All right, so we got 3/4 of a tank already. So, like I said, the proper time to add this, I just ran into the mirror on the first gen. The proper time to add this would be while you're filling up. That way it can get in there, it can mix in. Doing it right now, it's going to take a while to mix in and all that happy fun stuff, but we'll do that and then we'll go top off, and maybe doing that will kind of agitate it enough. So that's the plan. We'll get started with this evening's festivities. Jesse, Mr. No Boost, was supposed to come help us, but he bailed because he got sick as well. It's been going around. As you can tell in my voice, I still am not 100%, but I am well enough to carry on. Mr. No Boost, he's in bed like a little girl. So we got other people coming. Andy's gonna come by. That's just my little spiel on any of this stuff. If you guys have something that you use that you like, leave it in the comments below. I'd like to know what you guys use and why you use it and why you think it's better than this or how's. Michael actually told me he uses Alliant Power, Alliant something. That's what he usually gets. That's what he sells. Maybe we'll try some of that. But again, just not readily available. I should probably just order a case of this stuff. But anyway, we're gonna add a bunch of this stuff to it. Who else thinks that this little measuring thing and the gallons, I just dump like quarter, eighth, something. I just dump a bunch in. I don't track my little ounces. More is better, right? So we're just gonna add a bunch. Alrighty, like I said, next up on the list is changing our air dog filters, the water separator, and our little fuel filter here. These are pretty easy. There's not a whole lot to change in these things. All you really do is just unscrew them and screw the new ones in. That's pretty much it. Self-priming, you don't really need to fill these up. If you did, I think what people say is that you then introduce fuel that hasn't been filtered. So with the sump, these things really take little to no time to prime at all or whatever. So I don't fill them up, and I just bump the key once or twice and let the pump run, and we're good to go. 2-micron fuel filter, new water separator. Huge thank you to the guys at AirDog, always taking care of us. I love AirDogs, everybody knows that. So we're gonna change these guys out, and then the truck should be good to go. Alrighty guys, got the filters changed. If not for any other reason, all of the performance aspects of an aftermarket lift pump and everything else, the one simple thing that adds to everything else is the fact that it's a no tools required 60-second filter change. They literally spin them on, spin them off, get a little drain pan, a little bit of fuel comes out, and that's it. There's no tools required, there's no nothing required to change your fuel filters. So we'll just let that cycle once or twice. Usually I bump it, this will shut off after a couple seconds, but if you bump the key, then it will run a little bit longer, and we'll fire it up and be back on the road and no issues, hopefully. I think it's still on shop degrees. Anyway, you can kind of see our fuel rail pressure gauge here. Focus. We'll kick on our automatic cruise control high idle, which is just a little bit, and then we will go ahead and bump it up. As you can see with RPM, starts getting a little bit higher, and then we're good. So we are all set, guys. Like I said, we're gonna fill up all the way, kind of get that all mixed around, and we've learned our lesson. We got the wife wagon over there warming up. Pull that in, mop up the floor. Alrighty, I swear, I promise I won't bore you with the oil change in this thing. No big deal. Using the AMSOIL as usual. For the price, you really, if you're gonna go synthetic on something like this, $7 or $8 a quart, it's comparable to Royal Purple, Mobil 1. When I started changing the oil in this thing, I was like, man, I really wanna go synthetic. I wanna get something good. You know, the local store had this stuff, and I'm looking at the prices. I'm like, Mobil 1, Royal Purple, pretty much over $10 a quart. This stuff was like $7 or $8. I'm like, man, you can't beat that. So that's what we use in this Bad Larry. Got the AMSOIL. So that's it. I'm not going to bore you with the oil change. It's relatively easy. Now that we got this nice garage, we can do it any time of the night. Should be done here in a minute. Alrighty guys, and that is pretty much it. That's all we really wanted to get done tonight. We got the cab back on. Oh, we did get the cab bolts back on all four corners here. You can kind of see sneaking one in there, and then the two in the back. We got the cab secured down, got those all tightened up, measured, make sure it was centered on the frame, but we got that done. Got the wife's rig outside, got the 08 ready to roll. And that's pretty much it. We did get a couple things in the P.O. box, so we are going to open those up. As always, P.O. box is always down in the description if you guys want to send anything. This one is from David in Colorado. Let's see what we got here. Of course, we're opening up the big one first. Holy smokes. Looks like a lot of stuff in there. This message is to be read on channel if you wish. GREGA and the boys, greetings from high up in the Rockies. My coworker and I enjoy watching your videos and learning a new tip or trick once in a while. We have an organization called Stay the Trail Colorado. Shout out if you like. And if you'd please to know, we are keeping it Cummins out here in Colorado. We do educational work and build ATV and dirt bike trails. We're always wrenching on something from tractors to trail bikes. Thank you for taking the time to film, edit, post your daily adventures. You even played a role in my inspiring to buy first gen. Awesome. I've included the valve cover off the old 12 valve, as well as a Colorado license plate for your new shop. There's also some some swag. Colorado. Awesome. Look at this. Here we go. Here we go. We'll get the picture in there. Look at that first gen. Nice fourth gen. Sweet. Let me just unbox all this stuff. Got a nice hat, mug, t-shirt. You can see with all the rigs on it. And look at this. Look at this. This is gonna go perfect right here somewhere. Kind of, sorta. Here we go. We'll have to put that right there. That's nice. I got rid of mine on this. I should have kept mine as well. So we'll save that. And we got a license plate. A couple patches. Alrighty. Thank you very much, David. Appreciate that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, here's one. Oh, this guy, take a look at this. Ha! Dude, just in time. We got ourselves a foam cannon and some chemical guys. He actually sent me a message, and this is like some specific stuff to go in the foam cannon to help wash the stuff, which you guys can see is a completely filthy, dirty mess. Let me find this message. Alright, so for the life of me, I just went through all my messages. I cannot seem to find the message of the guy who hit me up and sent me this stuff. I'm not sure if it was on Facebook or Instagram. I'm going to try and find it. If I do, I'll put your name here. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I spent like 20 minutes trying to find your message, but I can't find it. So this is going to come in handy. The only problem that I have with washing stuff right now is, you know, I could do it in the shop. It's not really pitched very well. It does kind of have a little bit of a low spot there. But it's the fact that if I wash it outside, I can't really wash it outside in the parking lot here because by the time I do it, it's all going to freeze. It's going to be one big sheet of ice right outside my door, and then everybody who drives by and like the next morning is going to be really pissed off. So the weather is kind of hindering the warm water and it freezing. I could do it, and then it's going to be a sheet of ice after I do it. So that's a problem. I'm going to have to like just try and rinse off what I can and wait for a warm break in the weather or something. I'm open to suggestions, so if you guys have a opinion or option on how the best way to wash a vehicle in the winter without getting a complete sheet of ice, be my guest. I think somebody mentioned like there's I don't know if it's Adams or Chemical Guys, they have like an inflatable little thing that you can do, and then it like retains all the water, and then like maybe I could do that inside here and then push all the water out. Maybe I could do that. I'm not sure. Either way, it's kind of a hassle, but we got to protect the stuff. So anyway, next up, this is from Michael. I think the camera battery is going to die here. From Michael, I don't know if that says, I don't know where he's from, but Michael, look at this. Oh, nice. An American flag. This is perfect. This is what we needed. We need, is there a note in here? Maybe there's a note in here. Ooh, look at this. Oh, I see something in here. Look at that. This is as official as you can get. Hey, Greg, thanks for all the videos you're doing. Keep up the great job. Keep up the great work. Here's a flag. Oh, I didn't even read it. Company flag flown over the United States Capitol. Here's a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol for you to hang in the new shop. Can you please give a shout out to Sarah and Zach? They are two of your followers that just got married. Awesome. Thank you, Sarah and Zach, and thank you, Mike. I do appreciate it very, very much. That is perfect. I wonder what size. This is going to be a big one. Oh, this is nice. This is a really nice flag. This is sweet. I got to do this with 2 people so it doesn't hit the ground, so I'm not even going to attempt to try and do that right now. I'll wait till we can do that and make sure we do it safely, properly, and perfectly. So that is awesome. That is awesome. right here. That's the stamp of approval right here. 100% certified to be grown, processed, and manufactured in the United States of Freedom and America. Alrighty guys, like I said, that's pretty much going to do it for this video as I'm tripping over all this stuff on the ground. Thank you guys very much. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is going to be Saturday with the boys. So there's going to be some guns, there's going to be some action. It's just going to be some good old-fashioned hanging out with the guys. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.